So this project is going to be a little project that we're doing in order to create a photo collage. So the first thing you have to do is bring your image in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come over to our shape tool and choose a shape. Remember that you should have your snapping on. So you want the first button clicked and also the magnet clicked. And then if you go to this little arrow, you can come down and you make sure that you have all of these selections checked. The next thing we want to do is we want to grab a shape. I'm going to start with a polygon, and I'm just going to click on my screen, hold the shift button, so this way it proportionally gets bigger. And then after I make it the full size of the screen, I'm going to go to Arrange. I'm going to hit Align to Center, and then I'm going to go to Arrange, Align to Middle. And what that did is it put our shape exactly in the center of the image. The next thing I want to do is I want to change my fill to no color at all. The way we do that is over here on the left-hand side on my screen, on the color panel or the swatches, whichever you're clicked on, right here where you see the black and white right now, there's a little small white circle with a red line through it. If you click that while you're clicked on the white color, you'll notice that the color goes away. The black color, in this case, I'm going to pull all of my sliders over so I get white for the what's called the stroke. The stroke is the outline of the color. So if we look up here on the top of my screen, we see a little bar on the right-hand side of where it says stroke. So it says stroke, a color box, and then a line that we're able to click that, and that will determine how thick our stroke is. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this bar over until we see a nice thicker line. It's your job to determine how thick you want it. This is about the size that I want my line, so then I'm going to go from there. Next, you just have to start making shapes within it. You can use two things. You can continue to use the shape tool, or you can use what's known as the pen tool, which is the tool that's directly above that. You can use the shortcut P in order to get to it. If you look at your screen, it actually looks like a calligraphy pen, okay? And you hover over it and it says pen tool. Your screen might have what's called the node tool at this time. You just have to switch it back. Now, I can use the pen tool to now create a bunch of lines within this in order to create an overall shape altogether. Or I can continue to use the shape tool. But if you continue to use the shape tool, we need to make sure that all of our shapes stay in the first one, okay? So like for instance, I may want to keep with a circle in mind. So I'm going to bring a circle in, a perfect circle, and I'm going to make it the size of my polygon here. So it fits inside. And I want to try to get it fit as perfect as possible. So this way all my lines are touching the edge. All right, so now it is. Now I'm going to switch to the pen tool and just kind of create shapes between them. Now, right now, if we look at our context toolbar, which is that bar across the top, right now we are in just normal pen mode, which means as we draw, our line just continues, it continues, it continues. That's a good thing if you just want to make it one continuous shape. Or if you're trying to make one line at a time, switch to what's called line mode. Go figure. So I'm going to switch to line mode because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making shapes from corner to corner. So I'm going to go from here to there. Then I'm going to go from here to there. I'm going to go from there to there. Anyone notice what shape is being created? a star. So, all right, so I've made a star. Now I'm going to, inside here where these lines cross, I'm going to make another little triangle here. Okay? And then maybe come across here as well. Make it a star within a star, right? And then maybe I can make another star within a star. That one I messed up, didn't I? And then I think I'm going to stop on that one. Okay. Now, remember how we, on the BLT project, what we did was we put all of our BLT pieces in a group. We're going to do the same thing here where we highlight them all. So we click on the first layer on the bottom, scroll all the way up to the top, hold Shift, and click. Now, instead of putting them in a group, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Layer and click Merge Visible. And I messed up one thing, sorry. Before we hit Merge Visible, we have to uncheck our background. Now I can hit Merge Visible. Then re-highlight all of those things again, and then put them in a group and uncheck it. So now you're going to see that we have all in one shape those lines, okay? Now, this is the hardest part, making sure that you're on the correct layer each time. This is literally the hardest part of this project. Drawing the lines is just fun. You kind of just do whatever you want, whatever you feel like, okay? The hard part is you have to switch now back between layers, okay? So the first thing I have to do is, in order to make my selection that I want, I need to be on this top layer. I grab the magic wand, which is up here, which is called the Flood Select tool in this program. It looks like a magic wand. Then I decide where I want to select from. I can go through every single one of these shapes that were created with this image, or I can just do every other, or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. Okay? I'm going to select this area first. So you're going to see there's a nice selection right here. Okay? I'm on the top layer right now. Okay? I'm going to switch to the marquee tool. Doesn't matter which one, if it's the rectangular one, elliptical, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just need this one over here, the one that's directly under the wand. And I'm going to move this to somewhere else in the image. So I'm just clicking on it and dragging it over. Then I have to click on the background image. So right there, see how it's highlighted in blue? You'll notice that my selection is still there. I'm going to hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste, Command D for deselect. You have to do all three. Command C for copy, Command V as in Victor, for paste, and Command D for deselect. Then I need to grab the Move tool, which is the one under the hand. It looks like your cursor. I'm going to grab the Move tool, and I'm just going to move this back to the place that I copied my selection from. You may want to zoom in and make sure that your image is perfectly aligned. You can use the up, down, left, right arrow keys in order to make sure that it's perfectly aligned. Continue doing the whole process over and over and over again. Okay? I like grouping all of the copies that I made. So let me go to the example that I've gone further with this one. Okay? So you can see, there's my original image. I created all of these shapes, okay? I used them in order to make my selection. Then I used the wand tool to make the selection of the shapes. I copied from the background, and you can see here, here's all of my groups of all of my pictures, okay? Then, just for kind of making it look a little cooler, what I did was I added an adjustment layer. What I did was I add an adjustment layer to the project first. Or what you can do is after you put all of your pictures in a group, if you go into the group and click the first one and then hit adjustments, that adjustment layer that you're doing is going to be inside the group automatically, which is what you want. You don't want the whole image to change color. You want just the group to change color. So you can change this to make it look like however you want. You can do a hue and saturation adjustment. You can do a recolor adjustment. You can make a black and white adjustment if you wanted to. Whatever you want, it doesn't matter. It's your project just to kind of have fun with. Okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know. This project will be due in 2 weeks by the time grades are due. Enjoy it.